All right, hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 7, I believe, of season 2 of the Psych Fit podcast. So thank you for tuning back in. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different because I've been wanting to write stuff down. Sometimes I find that just like getting all my ideas out on paper or a whiteboard or whatever, just like writing stuff down and brainstorming just really helps me to like clear my head and sort of help me refocus and get on the right path again. So yeah, I wanted to do a bit of that with you today. And yeah, let's kick off. So I want to start a business series. So starting basically from today, but sort of officially from next week. Sort of, doing a podcast that guides people through like creating a small business and sort of going through the steps that I'm currently going through to, help you guys if you're thinking about starting a business and you're not really sure where to start, because it's super overwhelming and there's so much to learn and so much to think about. So if you want to like join me along my journey and sort of do it as I'm doing it in your own way and with your own business, then that would be cool. Or if you want to, rewatch these at a later date, then feel free to do that too. But I feel like if I do this, then, there's obviously going to be specific steps that I need to reach each week so that I'm on task and, I'm able to deliver extra content to you guys. So it keeps me accountable as well. So I have to be progressing each week with my business to, keep my podcast going. So this week, I just want to go like big picture, values, like think about imagine you have no idea what business you want, or maybe you have sort of some little ideas, but yeah, you just sort of want to brainstorm and do some writing with me. I feel like I'm doing this a lot. I've got a whiteboard. This is a calendar, but I'm just going to draw on it like it's a whiteboard, like it's got no lines on it. But I also have paper and a pen, and I also have a notebook, but it's too small. I was going to write in this, but I like to take up space. So I'm just going to randomly write things and see how we go. So the first thing I wanted to go through was something called Ikigai. So if you haven't read the book Ikigai, it's amazing and I highly recommend. It's probably one of my favorite books. And Ikigai is a Japanese concept, and it's about finding that thing, whether it's a career or sort of your life's purpose, that truly matters to you. And it basically comes from 4 different areas, which was that Venn diagram that you saw. So at the top it says what you love, so like the things that you love doing, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. So it's essentially bringing those 4 things in, and if you can find something that you love, that the world needs, that you can be paid for, and that you're good at, then you essentially arrive at your Ikigai, or like your purpose in life. So if we do a little exercise, I essentially like to write down basically those 4 things. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to write down things that cover all 4 of those categories, because usually that's very hard to find. Like usually, if anything, you find sort of one thing in your life that matches all 4 of those. And sometimes you can't even find something that matches all 4. It's sort of, you might only have 2 of those quadrants, or 3 or whatever. But yeah, just start with listing what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. So let's do that. And when you get to the what the world needs part, I would say you're trying to think of things that you can offer the world that the world needs. So it can come from the what you love category, but it can also not. If it's something that you can offer that the world needs, but you don't necessarily love doing it, then that would be in that category as well. Cool. I think I have my list, at least the start of it anyway. I feel like this can be a quick activity, or more ideally, it's sort of an activity that you can come back to and add to and think of new things. So once you have your rough draft, then, sort of think about what things, like, is there anything that goes across all 4 of those categories? If so, amazing. Then, that might be something that you would want to build a business around. And if there's one thing that covers all 4, and then there's maybe another thing that covers 3 or even 2, you might want to combine that. For example, like one of mine is health and fitness, and that's very broad, but that sort of category. And then also psychology, and helping people with, helping them create meaning in their life, and helping create a fulfilling journey in their life, doing things because it's meaningful to them, not just, going through the motions. That's sort of my idea for PsychFit, is bringing in those like fitness and psychology components. And I guess personal development is sort of in that psychology realm as well. Fitness is more so the physical health, physical fitness, and the mental health. And I think the fitness also, especially for me, fitness and, going to the gym, working out, running, it's a way to build confidence and to, sort of build that belief in yourself that you can, you can do anything, and you can you see progress in things like fitness, and it's tangible progress. So by seeing that every day, and by committing to yourself, you're showing yourself discipline, and you obviously feel good when you go to the gym as well. So it's almost like a ripple effect in all other areas of your life. So that's why I love health and fitness as well. So that's Ikigai, and there's a whole book on Ikigai. It's called The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. And it's such a nice book. Actually, ooh. Looks like this. Ikigai. And I love it. So highly recommend if you're looking for a good book to read. That one's a great one. And another, I guess, technique that I wanted to go through was, I was listening to a YouTube video by Ali Abdaal, and he was talking about the Odyssey technique or the Odyssey principle, something along those lines. And I think I sort of tweaked it a little bit. Like what I took away from it was slightly different than what he was explaining. So I'm going to explain the technique that that helped me. And I did it a while ago, so I want to do it again. And this is a good technique, I think, if you have like so many ideas, or maybe you have even like, ideally you have 3 ideas and you're not sure which one to go for. So, maybe you're not sure if you want to become a sports psychologist or work in medicine and become a psychiatrist, or I don't know, maybe you really love traveling, so you really want to start a travel blog and just, go eating at different cafes all around the world and, reviewing them and making money off that somehow, or, going along a different path. So if you have, all these ideas, then what we want to do is come up with, if you only have 2, then let's use 2. But, at most, maybe 3. Let's start with 3. You essentially think about either, let's say 10 years, because that's a fairly good time to look forward and see like a different way of living that, like, your business has taken off, and imagine yourself in 10 years and write yourself in option A, option B, and option C. So let's say option A, I'm a sports psychologist and I'm working for a rugby league team in Australia or in Queensland or whatever. And I don't know, it's not really, that would be kind of cool, but nah, not really what I'm thinking. But let's just say, for example, sports psychologist for a rugby league team, but make it more detailed. So like, choose a team, and what does your sort of day-to-day look like? You can go into like all that sort of detail. Like, what is this option A in 10 years time? What does your life look like if you chose that option? So write all that down. And then do that again for option B. So let's choose something else. Let's say I wanted to go to med school, and instead I want to become a general practitioner. I'm a GP. Maybe I moved to Sydney and work for doctors up there. Maybe I'm living in an apartment. I have my dog with me, like just sort of paint your picture 10 years from now. What does it look like if I chose the doctor path? And then maybe another option is, actually I want to move to New York City. I want to be a journalist, like all those movies. So I want to be a journalist. What is, obviously my life's going to look completely different in that case. and then blah, 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 write down your life if you chose option C. And that's already like a pretty good idea. Like one of them is going to be more exciting to you than others. And as you're writing, one of the options, you might be thinking, oh, actually, nah, that doesn't sound very good. So then you just scrap that idea. But essentially, you've written down your 3 options. 10 years from now, that's what your life could look like in 3 different scenarios. Now, where are you right now? Right in the present moment, what are you doing? You're chilling at your mum's house, chilling at mum's, unemployed. I'm unemployed too, it's fine. Whatever. Or maybe you're a full-time teacher and you want to change careers or whatever. Whatever it is, write down what your situation is right now. Now, being where you are right now, going through each of those pathways, what are the skills that you need to obtain to get to each of those options? Are there any qualifications you need? So obviously if I chose the doctor pathway, I'd need to probably do 8 more years of study, med school. If I chose the New York City pathway, then I guess it's not really a skill, but I'd have to actually move to New York City. I'd have to, learn about visas and all that sort of stuff, figure out how I would actually do that. Think about what would your 10-year pathway look like? What skills, qualifications do you need? What things would you have to sacrifice to choose that pathway? What else? Just, write down all the things, all the things that you'd need to do to get from point A, where you are now, to point B, whatever option that is. So option 1, option 2, option 3. And then you're essentially looking at these 3 timelines of 10 years and you're thinking, which one appeals to you the most? So, you might, for example, the doctor pathway might seem amazing. That destination may seem amazing, but then you think, I don't see myself doing all the preparation that leads up to the 10 years to become a doctor or whatever. The pathway from A to B doesn't appeal to me. So you need to think, is the 10-year pathway, or you can do 5 years or 20 years or whatever, is that pathway worth the destination? Or would I prefer the New York City pathway? But then, obviously there's risks to that. What happens if I can't get a visa? Or, what happens if I move to New York City and after a year, I can't stand crowds anymore, so then I have to move back to Australia? Would I still want to be a journalist in Australia? So, there's all these things you need to sort of consider. And just thinking about it, none of this has to do with business, but this is also, can also be done with business. So let's say I wanted to start a personal training business. That's my option A. My option B is, actually I sort of want to go down online nutrition coaching or whatever. So that's my option B. So sort of planning it out and seeing which one appeals to you the most. And then another sort of going on from that is looking at your ideal week, or looking at these options, what would your week look like as that kind of business owner? Or if you had that kind of business, what would your week look like? and those day-to-day tasks, would you actually enjoy those? Because, you know, it's great to call yourself a sports psychologist or whatever, but the tasks that you do every single day as a sports psychologist, is that actually something that you want to be doing with your life? Is that something you actually enjoy doing? You know, as, let's say, a lawyer, like, a lawyer may seem very glamorous, but I could imagine that a lawyer would have a lot of reading to do. So if you really hated reading, then, you know, that's going to be your main day-to-day task. You know, you're not going to be, I don't know much about lawyering, but, you know, in a court, like doing court stuff, you're not going to be doing court stuff every day. So, you know, if that's the only part of your job that you actually enjoy, then, you know, maybe that's not the right career path for you. Are we talking about careers or are we talking about business? I don't even know anymore. But essentially, all of this works for business as well. Just with business, you work for yourself and you are basically creating what you want your career to be, what you want your life to be. And that can be so much harder, but it's really great to brainstorm. I didn't even use my whiteboard. Well, let's use the whiteboard. All right. So let's jump back. Let's think about our Ikigai, if you did that activity. Let's think about this passion or this purposeful thing that we have in our life. Let's use PsychFit as an example. So PsychFit is my Ikigai, my love of health and fitness, and my love of psychology and mindset and personal development and fulfillment. And I've put this as my Ikigai. What are the values of this business? So, for example, community, like being able to build a community, is a big value of, you know, what I want my business to create is community. I obviously value health and fitness. So PsychFit, you know, this is more so thinking about your business. What is your business? What are the values of your business? So, for example, a personal value of mine is sustainability, but I wouldn't necessarily say, well, I mean, I would like my business to be sustainable, but it's not necessarily like a core value of my business. So we're looking at business values, not necessarily personal values just yet. So business values, I've got community, I've got health and fitness, I've got psychology is not really a value, but let's put personal development and like growth. So personal growth. I guess contribution to others. Your contribution and helping others to grow. I would say like supportive. I guess, would you put that in community? I don't know. Let's put supportive anyway. And also I would say like joy, like just happiness and joy and like enjoying the process and life and, you know, enjoying what you're doing. There's no point working out if you're not enjoying it. well, that's I don't know. There's definitely still a point if you're not enjoying it, but it's so much more fun if you can find something that you actually enjoy doing that is also good for your health. But it's better to do an exercise that you don't enjoy rather than not doing any exercise at all, I guess. But, just find something that you enjoy. So joy, community, health and fitness, personal development, growth, contribution, supportive. I feel like I'm missing like key areas, but just for example, let's stick with that for now. Let's say vitality, that sort of comes into health and fitness, but like vitality and energy, because you ultimately want to expand your energy, want it to be a very energetic place that, tops up your energy, not drains your energy. So, ta-da! Sag fit. Cool. So that's my values, and you can do that for like an idea of a business that you want it to create. So what are the values that you would want your business to have? And then once you've done that, just, run over it and make sure that those values align with who you are as a person. So this is where your personal values come into it. I guess the final thing is knowing your why and like having a vision for your business, and then having a mission statement. A great thing that I heard the other day from a YouTube video from Ali Abdaal again. He does a lot of great productivity and just like life meaning videos in general. It's really good. He was saying that your vision is your what and your why, and your mission is your how. So your vision for your business or your career or whatever, your vision is the what, like what is your vision, and the why. Why am I doing, why do I want this vision to happen? And then your mission is how. So how are you going to make your vision come to life? So a vision, he was saying, a vision without a mission statement is unattainable. A mission statement helps develop goals and steps to move toward that vision. I thought that was really cool, because I always confused what a vision and a mission was, or like a vision statement and a mission statement. And that sort of, really helped. So like the vision is, the big picture, what you see your business doing, and even your big why of why that's so important to you. Whereas, your mission statement is sort of those everyday things, or how the business needs to run to, either be fulfilling that vision or lead toward that big picture vision. And then along with, the why and the why statement. So understanding your why is very important, but also very difficult sometimes to actually figure out why you actually want something to happen. So when I was in a counseling session a couple of weeks ago, she was saying like a good way to understand what your why is to look at the big picture. So I was very much focused on like, what's my first step with SlackFit, like small group classes, once a week, twice a week, just getting it done, starting, not really focused on like big picture stuff yet. I'm like, I just got to get started first. I don't want to think about, what's going to happen in 10 years. But she said, to be able to have that internal drive to want to keep growing, and like once you've started, like to actually, you know, have that drive and purpose to actually keep doing the group fitness classes, and then to actually progress and not just, you know, start with 2 classes a week and then in a year's time I'm still only doing 2 classes a week. She said that you need to brainstorm and look at what the big picture is. So what's like, you know, in 10 years time or in 20 years time, what is Psych Fit? Is it, you know, a facility? Is it like a permanent building? Is it online coaching? Is it traveling around the world and doing seminars and whatever? And ideally, it's all of those things. But, you know, I was able to sort of almost create like this Psych Fit in my head that was like massive and had employees and, you know, other coaches from different disciplines, like business coaches, nutrition coaches, podcast coaches, if that's a thing. Yeah, all these people come together, and, you know, I was able to think of this big picture, and then it was so much easier to think about like, okay, what's my why? Like, why do I want that to happen? Rather than like, why do I want to start group fitness classes in the park for 10 people, you know? You know, it could be because I want to help those people to, you know, live a happier and healthier life. Like, that's great. But it's so much stronger when there's like a big picture that you can pull from. Like, the whys become a lot stronger. So a couple of things that I came up with, just to give you some examples of whys. And like, it's good to just write down everything that comes to your mind about why you're doing it. So for example, the first thing that came to my mind was I wanted to create Psych Fit because I wanted to build a community, a support network, and almost like a family that, you know, that I've always wanted myself. And I wanted to help others elevate to the next level, and grasp onto the greatest parts of life. This is sort of the stuff that I was writing down. To be surrounded by people who realize the meaning of life and are fulfilled and grateful. Actually, I really liked this one. To be the place where ripples begin. So, because I don't want to just create a gym. I don't want to just like, you know, start another gym. I want to almost have a hub for, you know, where coaches come together. You can have your nutrition assessed and stuff. Like, a nutritionist will come in, or a dietitian will come in and speak to you about your nutrition essentially. And then, you know, next week we might have a business coach that, you know, chats about how to start a business or how to scale your business or whatever. And then also, like, on the side of the gym, I'd have, you know, rooms where people can like do their work. You know, it's almost like a shared workspace type situation, but it's also a gym, and obviously only the people who are a part of the Psych Fit community can use the facilities. There'd be like podcast booths, so like, yeah, podcast microphones and like soundproofing and stuff. So if people want to start a podcast and want to like share information, then they can, rather than just like chilling in their bedroom with their housemate's plant to make it look nice. And yeah, just like stuff like that. Like, I sort of was trying to like paint a picture, and the place, to be the place where ripples begin, is like, I want to help people to build themselves up, you know, obviously physically with the fitness side of it, but also to help them build mentally and to like be a place where, you know, dreams can come true. That sounds very cheesy, but like, you know, people have goals or whatever that they would come in and be like, I want to do this, and then, you know, be like, oh yeah, cool, I have my business coach, like I'll just like book you an appointment with him and you can sort of chat it out. Or like, oh, I really want to start a podcast. Oh yeah, cool, I have a podcast room out the back. Like, you know, just where people can come and like, it's a community as well. So if, you know, someone's really good at marketing, then they can help out old mate who's, you know, struggling with his marketing or whatever. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It'd be like a really cool place. And then once I build, you know, I'm helping others to build themselves up. So then they'll obviously help others, and then they'll help others, and they'll help others. So it's like a place where I build this community of, you know, energetic, happy, like, you know, fulfilled people who want to contribute to the world. So then that circle almost expands. Like, I don't know, I feel like you'd have your bubble, and then that bubble would expand of like, yeah. You know, if you're in a really bad mood, and then it just seems like everyone around you is in a bad mood. Whereas like if you're in a really happy mood and like feel great, then it feels like everyone around you is in like a great mood. So it's sort of like that. Like, I want to just create that ripple, so then eventually everyone sort of in my vicinity is, you know, contributing to the world and, you know, fulfilled and feeling great about their lives. So, or at least feeling some sense of purpose. So yeah. And I feel like that's a lot stronger. That why is a lot stronger than, you know, just helping a group of people in the park, you know, with their, you know, with their strength or whatever, which is still amazing. But yeah, it can be bigger. So think big, and then that will help you with your why and your why statement. And then, you know, that's obviously a vision as well. And then you can come up with a mission statement, and stuff like that. So yes, so I'm going to work on that this week. And I want to come up with like one solid why statement. That would be cool. I think I'll start with that next week. I'll start with like my one why statement of why I want to start PsychFit. I have started PsychFit, but why I want PsychFit to be where it is going to be in the next couple of decades. Yeah. And I hope that was sort of helpful. I feel like that didn't go anywhere near as well as I wanted it to go, because I was just like chatting about random things that didn't really connect. But I don't know, hopefully some of that helped. And there is actually a few other things that that I wanted to talk about, but I feel like there'll be a part 2 to this section, because I think understanding the why and the brainstorming and the vision and all of that is super important to grasp and to like understand yourself and what you want. You know, look at the Ikigai template Venn diagram, and sort of, you know, look at those things. Like, even just get a piece of paper and write down everything that you like doing, like, or everything that you love in life, and then just like come up with like key themes. So if you write down like, I love I love listening to podcasts, I love watching documentaries, I love reading, I love trying to think of things that connect, then that's like personal development. So you can like put that in like one little category. Or if you like playing games and going to theme parks and, you know, going to comedy shows and going to the movies, and, you know, then that's like, depends why you like those things, but that's like a joy or like laughter or I guess that's more of a value. But, you know, yeah, just play around with it, brainstorm, write stuff down, because writing stuff down is super helpful. I feel like that wasn't very helpful, but you know, it can be. All right, see you later, guys. I'm gonna stop talking.